or something. I don't know.
Like Scream. Hello, Sydney. Hello, little children. Just kidding. Oh my god, I'm embarrassed.
Hello there.
Ew, that does sound scary.
Hello there. My name is Kayla, and I'm here to rip your soul out.
Oh my god, that's scary.
Yeah, I don't like that. You actually sounded like a fucking totally different person. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, wait, I kind of want to do it though.
Everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck? Did I click on the wrong thing?
Anyways, yeah, this is Tale of Two Dead Girls. I'm your host Kayla, and that is Kale, and we are here for spooky season October.
Spooky season.
Yes.
It's officially fucking started.
Yeah, October 1st, here we are. The leaves have not changed color where I live because I'm in fucking Southern California, and it sucks with that. And it's still like 100 degrees too, so yay.
It's very weird here because in Utah, it's like every fucking day is a mystery. Sometimes you'll wake up, like the other day, I go to the gym at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And the other day I went outside and it was freezing. It was like 40 degrees. I needed a jacket. The next day I went outside, it was literally 75 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning. Every day is unpredictable, especially when it becomes to like fall and winter. Like you never know. I mean, it gets so cold in the winter that people, like, when it starts to get like 40 degrees outside, people are wearing like shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, that's weird. For us, I mean, for me, it's like 75 degrees and I'm like, oh my god, I get to wear a sweater. It's like sweater weather. But I mean,
That's so
actually
funny.
no, not really though, because now I mean, I won't wear a sweater when it's 70 degrees. I'll wear a sweater if it's like 60. But for the aesthetic and, you know, fashion, I'll wear like cozy clothing. But yeah, hi guys. It's our episode. Did we say what episode it was? It's 25. I think.
Is it 25? I thought it's 24. Let me check. Yeah, 24. Episode 23, we did Harley, Dilly, and Elizabeth Smart.
Okay, episode 24, gang.
24.
Halloween, gang, October 1st. It's Spooktober, whatever. But yeah, I'm super excited for this month. We got a lot planned for you guys. So expect quite a few episodes this month to keep your spooky selves entertained with our idiocy. Idiocy? Is that a word? That's a word, right?
I can see it in my head, but
see exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. But yeah. Do you have any spooky things going on like this month for you? Like, are you doing any like Halloween festivities?
Sort of, yeah. So my birthday is on the 23rd, and which funny story, Kayla texted me on September 23rd at midnight. Precious angel, happy birthday.
I know. I literally had her fucking calendar, or her birthday as September in my fucking calendar.
It was so cute though, and I was having a bad night, so it was like, aw. But anyways, my birthday's the 23rd, and we're gonna have, since it's on a Friday, we're gonna have a little Halloween party, birthday party on the 24th. My friend Karin, her birthday is on the 18th, and so we're just kind of combining our birthdays and throwing like a little Halloween party. You know, nothing too big because, you know, pandemic, but just like four couples. So
not too many people. Little get together.
Yeah, just our little friend group. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. We're gonna dress up. I'll have to post a picture of my boyfriend and I when we dress up because we're gonna do something spooky.
Oh yeah.
And we found all of our stuff for the costumes at a thrift store, so I'm super excited. Yes.
Oh, how fun. Yeah, I haven't really dressed up for Halloween, which is weird because Halloween is like my favorite holiday, you know, and over the past few years I haven't done anything. Like on Halloween itself, I haven't done anything in like, I don't know, maybe 5 years. So
Yeah.
I haven't bought a costume in forever. You know, I'll just do like some sort of like spooky makeup, but not like anything crazy because I'm not really good at that. But I don't know. It sucks. It's like I never have plans on my favorite night. Like, what the actual fuck? But like, I do like stuff during October. Like, I'd usually go to horror nights or Not Scary Farm, you know, just stuff like that. But never anything on Halloween.
I know, and this year sucks because everything's like iffy, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope your birthday is the best time ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you guys have any like drive through or like haunted houses? Because I know there's some like states that have haunted houses still, like where you can go through them and like the mazes and stuff. Like they have the ones that you can actually walk through. Um, so I don't know if like Utah is gonna have that or
Yeah, they're actually open already, but fuck all of that. I can't do that. That's like the
oh
one that's like the one
oh
activity that I just absolutely cannot do. Like it's just I get so much anxiety thinking about it and just I did it once when I was like
oh
16 and I ran back through the entrance
wait, why though? It's like all fake.
because it's just so scary. Like first, okay, so part of my brain is like the rational side where it's like this is fake, these are just people in costumes, whatever, but then the other part of my brain is like, this is fucking terrifying. What if there's an actual murderer in here?
Oh my god,
They're
I
gonna
know.
swoop me away and kill me. Like, I don't know, it's just terrifying.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys can hear that, sorry to cut you off, but that's actually my new clock. I got oh, let me just tell you guys this really quick. In Van Nuys, California, there's a pop-up shop called Halloween Funhouse, and it's next to like a vegan Mexican place. So like me and my friend, we went and we got like vegan carnita tacos, and then we like went to this little Halloween store. So go check this Halloween store out. It's like this guy, he like runs it. It closes on November 1st, but he runs it, and like he has like 4 storage units full of like Halloween decorations and stuff. And so they're all like so cheap. Like this clock that I bought was like $5, and I'm pretty sure it's from like the 90s. Like it's like vintage or
Dang.
whatever. Like they have like so much good stuff for so cheap. Like there was things that I got for like $2, and I highly suggest checking it out. He like puts new stuff like every day, so there's always new stuff there. But yeah, if you guys hear that again, it's because we've recorded for over an hour. Every hour it'll
Oh,
make
it
a
does it
spooky
every hour.
sound. Yeah, so it's like a cuckoo clock, but
Does
instead
it
of
scare you
cuckoo,
at
it's a
night?
I actually don't hear it. I'm like
Oh.
I was like thinking about it. I was like, wait, because yesterday morning I heard it when I was like in the bathroom, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, wait, what? How did I not hear that when I was sleeping? So I have yet to hear it while I'm asleep. Thank God. But
Yeah. But that
yeah,
sounds so
it's pretty
cool. I wish I
fun.
could go. I love stores like that. We go to Spirit Halloween like religiously when it comes to Halloween time because we love it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, maybe go find one of those little pop up shops. Maybe someone has it. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know,
maybe.
but yeah.
But yeah.
Um,
Anyways, fuck haunted houses. I can't do it. It's
I love
stupid
them.
because I'll
They're
go to like a
so
real
fun.
creepy place. Like I'll go to cemeteries in the middle of the night and like play with fucking Ouija
Oh,
boards and then like, you know, go to
she
like
fucks with real demons,
abandoned
but not fake
buildings.
ones.
I know. I don't understand. It's just like this weird thing, I guess. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like my fight or flight would activate and I would just end up knocking someone out like straight up. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Oh my
And I just don't like the
gosh.
feeling of being trapped. Like if I was in like an
Yeah.
abandoned place, I could like run away back to my car or something, but like you're just kind of
Yeah.
trapped there because the one that they have out here, well, one of the ones that they have out here is at like an old factory. And so I don't I
Oh,
mean,
it's
I'm
pretty
pretty sure
big.
you couldn't just fucking run away. Yeah, like there's not
Yeah.
just there's like specific exits and shit. So
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah,
terrifying.
that sucks.
Yeah. And the forest ones are just creepy because, like, oh my god, anyone can be in the forest. Like,
You guys
what the
have
fuck?
forest ones?
Yeah, there's like the haunted woods.
What? Oh my god, I want to go.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
And my mom
Wow.
actually, in the small town that I grew up in, they have a hotel that all of October they'll do like a haunted walkthrough, and she
Mhm.
actually does a lot of it, and she dresses up all scary and does like the scares and stuff. It's crazy.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do that, but I don't think I could be the person that is getting scared.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't have any other spooky activities planned. Just doing our extra stories, which will be a lot of fun for you guys. We're gonna do some other scary stuff.
Scary.
We're gonna do some
Scary.
scary stuff.
Yeah, Kayla's demon voice, if you didn't know.
It gives me like Carly Beth vibes, like when from the Haunted Mask Goosebumps, like when she's got the mask on and she's like,
Oh yeah.
oh wait, what does she say? I forget the things she says, but I don't know. But like
I
She
always
talks like
hated that. That one
this.
was like that was like the scariest episode for me when I was a kid.
Carly Beth. Yeah. Okay, so Kale is going first today.
So get ready to be spooked shitless.
Yes, I've got a very fucking wild story. I don't even know. It's just nuts. Most of you guys, well, some of you guys have probably heard about this, but it's not very well known because it happened a million fucking years ago. Um, but I wanted to talk to you guys today about the Blood Countess or Elizabeth Bathory. So this story takes place in like Hungary, and so I am going to most likely butcher some of the names, so please don't judge me on that. But a lot of the documentaries that I watched where it was like an English person that said her name, they said Elizabeth Bathory, but I'm gonna say Bathory because
Battery?
I'm
Like battery?
American. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's like Bathory, so Bathory.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Bathory, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Elizabeth Bathory was born on August 7th, 1560. She was born into one of the most prominent families in Europe, and because of her family's prominence, she was given the very best education. She knew several languages such as Hungarian, Slovak, Greek, Latin, and German.
That's a lot.
Elizabeth had, yeah, she was smart, but she also had a lot of health issues, including epilepsy. And, in the 1500s, medical treatments were definitely out there. Like, didn't really fucking know what they were doing, I'm sure.
Shock therapy.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think that because they didn't have electricity. It was in the
Oh.
1500s.
Oh, right. I don't know what I'm thinking.
I know. I am so horrible with history. Like, I really am. And so you just kind of have to think about like castles in like medieval times
I wonder if they had
because
psych
that's what
wards
this.
back then.
I don't know. But basically, doctors at the time believed that rubbing the blood of a person that is not epileptic onto your lips could cure epilepsy. So they're just like, here, have some normal blood, you fucking weirdo.
Oh my god, were they not scared of like HIV or like diseases through blood?
No, I don't think so. There was also some things that said that they would take like the skull of a dead person and like boil it into a stew and then have her drink that or eat that because they thought
Fuck
that it would
yeah.
help with her epilepsy. Like they thought that if they took normal working body functioning parts and then put it into someone who was like affected by something that it would like reverse it or some shit. I don't know.
That's sick. I
I
wish that
mean,
was real. Maybe it
no,
is.
I don't want to drink someone's skull. Are you kidding me? I
I
wouldn't even eat
would
meat.
I would love to eat someone's stomach just so I could have a normal stomach again.
I mean, I guess it's like if it was like a, hey, I donate my body to this after I die, because like obviously the person was dead when they took their skull, and
Yeah.
um, anyways, Also, back in this time, the family that she was born into, they were very prominent and they wanted to keep their bloodline pure. So they were incest. So they also think that that might be why she had a lot of health issues.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, yeah. So, anyways, not saying that people with epilepsy are like, you know, born into incest. That's not true. I don't know. But anyways, um,
Right.
at the age of 10, Elizabeth was engaged to 15-year-old Farinick Nadisty. Again, don't roast me if I'm saying that wrong. But they moved into his parents' palace at the time. Ferenc and Elizabeth got married on May 8th, 1575, and approximately 4,000 people attended the wedding.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so it was an extravagant party that lasted 3 days. And since Elizabeth's social and political standing was higher than her husband's, she refused to change her last name, so Fenric took her last name instead. Fenric's wedding gift to Elizabeth was his castle. So, you
Oh,
know, just,
amazing.
we're married now. I'm 15, you're 10. Here's a fucking castle.
That's
Definitely a different time.
weird. 15
Yeah.
and 10. Here's a fucking
Yeah.
castle. How did he even have a castle?
So the castle was purchased by his mother in 1569 and it had 17 adjacent villages. So back in this
Shame.
time, you have to think about it as like they weren't like royalty. They were related to royalty, but they weren't royalty. But the castle had these villages around it, and because they were the richest people in the village, they basically ruled the village, if that makes sense. So like
Mm-hmm.
all of the people that lived in the village were mostly like peasants and servants and like slaves. So the people that are rich, like Elizabeth Bathory and Fenric, they take care of the village. So, you know, they like handle their medical care and like do business for them and like give them work and stuff. So, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
So, in 1578, Fenric became the chief commander of the Hungarian troops and he led them to war against the Ottomans. And while Fenric was away at war, Elizabeth handled all of their affairs. So, again, the role usually included taking care of the Hungarian and Slovak people that were around their area. And she was also responsible for her husband's estates and had to defend them. I thought this was kind of cool because, you know, like for a time there, like women weren't allowed to do shit. And like in
Mm-hmm.
this time, it was like he went to war, so she was like responsible for like the whole village and everything. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't she did bad stuff, so it wasn't cool that she got to do it, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
But during the war, Fenric was coined the nickname the Black Knight of Hungary because of how violent and evil he was. The ways that he would kill the enemy made the enemy fear him. Fenric and Elizabeth didn't get to spend much time together during the war, but when they did, it's said that they bonded over violence. It's said that when she moved into the castle, that he actually had her own torture chambers built,
Oh my god.
but that she only did it when he was away because, you know, she was kind of just like, I'm just gonna do this when he's gone. I don't know. Um, but Fenric taught Elizabeth ways to torture, such as rolling a piece of paper in oil, placing it between a servant's toes, and lighting it on fire. He also gave her a spiked glove that was used to scratch the servants' faces, so like needles on it, and
What?
then she would like smack the shit out of them, and it would just like
Oh my
tear up their face.
god.
Horrid, I know. In 1601, Fenric became ill, and he died in 1604, bringing their 29-year marriage to an end. Um, he so it said that he became suddenly ill and then eventually became paralyzed and then eventually died, but it's not really certain what he was actually like sick with, so I don't really know. But Elizabeth was 44 years old when her husband died, and after he died, Elizabeth became more and more evil than ever. Her torture methods were some of the worst in history, and it's suspected that Elizabeth killed around 600 young servant girls.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, so she's still the most prolific female serial killer of all time, but her number of murders is actually not verified. But basically, how they got that number was that after they arrested her and everything, they went through her diaries and they found like pretty much a log of everything that she had done, and it was reported that it was around 600 young girls that were in the book.
Damn.
So that
It's crazy.
So I wanted to kind of get into like some of the things that she did, which it gets pretty freaking graphic. So if you'd like to skip this part, you can. But some of the things that Elizabeth did to the girls were severe beatings. She would burn them with hot irons, keys, or coins. She would bite them. She would stick needles through their lips or jam them under her fingernails and toenails.
She'd pierce them. Give them lip
Yeah,
piercings.
but like
snake bites.
through both lips.
What?
Like, yeah. Like a needle through, like needles
the top
like
and then going to the
through
bottom.
both lips. Yeah.
Ew.
Rough, dude. She would also jam them under their fingernails and toenails, which is like
Ew.
fucking
Ah!
don't like
like
thinking
that.
about that.
Ew.
I know. She would starve a lot of her victims, and she would sometimes put them outside in the snow and then throw cold water on them and let them freeze to death.
Damn,
It's said that one of her victims had her breast bitten off and then was forced to cook it and eat it.
What?
Yeah, so she had her own boob cut off and then she was forced to cook it and then eat her own boob.
Damn,
I don't
that's
know.
hard.
Another thing that she would do to her victims that were barely hanging on to life is she would cover them in honey, tie them down, and wait for ants, bees, and other bugs to come and eat them alive.
Ew.
One of the most infamous things about Elizabeth Bathory is that she would bathe and drink in the young girl's blood because she believed it would keep her looking and feeling young. So this is how she earned her name, the Blood Countess. And some people think that she did that because of when she was younger and they would have her do weird shit to try to cure her epilepsy. So some people think that maybe she bathed in their blood to try to heal herself. But they were always young girls, and it did say quite a bit that they were virgins, but I don't know if like how much we can verify that. But yeah, so no one exactly knows what motivated Elizabeth to kill or torture in these sadistic ways, but a lot of historians believe that it was sexually motivated or that she just loved the thrill of killing. Most of Elizabeth's victims were servant girls, but Elizabeth started to kill higher ranking women that were sent to her castle to learn good manners. So at the time, like families would send their daughters to her in hopes that she would teach them how to be like classy and royal, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the 1600s, you know, servants were treated pretty poorly. They were ultimately disposable. That combined with Elizabeth's high ranking status and wealth, she was practically untouchable. But local pastors became suspicious that something sinister was going on in the castle because Elizabeth had to keep calling them in to perform funeral services for many, many servant girls. And when it started to happen to more prominent women or women with families, such as like the local nobles that had the ability to be like, yo, my daughter's missing, what the fuck? You know, they were more important than servants at the time. And so in 1610, the noble families gathered. They started to piece together the disappearances of their daughters. And at the time, Elizabeth did have 4 accomplices who were just other servants of hers, and they would kidnap the girls or, you know, lure them into the castle in some way. So the people were like, okay, our daughters are missing, but they somehow were able to piece it together that it all kind of like ended up back at Elizabeth's castle or with Elizabeth involved.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking know how to say this guy's name, but his name is Count Gigori Thurzo.
Got it.
Gigorgi. It's like Gygorgy. So Gyorgy, I don't know. Gigorgy?
Guy orgy.
Yeah, Gigorgy. But we're just gonna call him Count Thurzo because that's a little bit easier.
Thursday.
So he decided to investigate the rumors of Elizabeth being involved. At the time, he was in charge of the judicial matters that were handled in Hungary. And he had also heard rumors of Elizabeth before, but it was always coming from servants or peasants. And like I said, at the time, they weren't considered important. So it was pretty much just like, don't talk bad about her. You know, she's like the ruler of our village kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when the noble families got involved, it became more important. So when Count Thurzo went to Elizabeth's castle to investigate the rumors, he actually walked in on Elizabeth with a young girl tied up, and one girl already dead.
Fuck.
So Elizabeth and her 4 accomplices were arrested, and her 4 accomplices were also servants, and because they were servants, they were subjected to torture until they confessed to everything they had done to help her, and then they were sentenced to death. I read somewhere that they were actually like lit on fire
Oh my
and just
god.
like burned to death, which is really horrible. But Elizabeth, because she was part of this royal family, they decided that they couldn't really like sentence her to death or, you know, do anything to torture her. So they decided to just lock her in a room inside of her castle, which was like a few steps underground. And that's where she stayed until she died at 43 years old.
Oh my
And it said
god.
that she what the legend is or whatever is that she had went up to the guard and said my hands are cold, and he said, "Oh, like it's whatever, too bad, so sad, just go lay down." And then she laid down and died, which
That's
is
sad.
very fucking uneventful, you know?
Right.
Like she tortured so many people. Like they say that she killed 600 girls. It's like she should have been fucking tortured. Like the fact that she was just like so prominent that they didn't like kill her is just disgusting. I don't know.
I know, right?
So that is the story of Elizabeth Bathory. The castle is still it's still standing, but it's like not like in good shape. Like it's pretty shitty. I don't know if you can actually get to it. I think you can, but I'm not sure if they do like tours or something because it's like it's kind of like ruins at this point. I mean, it's fucking hella old.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I'll post pictures on our Instagram of the castle and then like of the paintings of Elizabeth. But yeah, I don't know. This story, it freaks me out because it's like I feel like a lot of people don't know about it. There's also rumors that the whole thing was a lie because at the time, like we don't really have like a lot of records, but some historians think that she was actually trying to save the girls, that they had like gotten hurt or you know cut or something, and that she was trying to heal them with like burning the cuts. But I'm just
Mm-hmm.
and that you know like some of the servants like may have just lied or turned on her because of being tortured, or that she was framed, or that they lied because they wanted her out of like charge because she was in charge of so many things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know. I just feel like it's too much like to get so many people to lie, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
That's insane, especially because of how long ago it was. Like, who knows how credible anything is or whatever,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But there are people
Um,
that do like paranormal stuff there too, and they get
uh,
scaly.
it kind of reminds me of American Horror Story Coven when
Yeah.
but it was Marie Laveau, where I think it was Marie Laveau, where she was putting shit on her, like blood on her face to keep her young. I can't remember if it was Marie Laveau. Okay, well, my story is it's the it's about the Fall River cult members. Um, well, the deaths that had to do with this satanic cult. So,
I've never heard of
uh,
this. I'm excited. I like cult
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, this is a satanic cult, you know. Woo. Okay, so in Massachusetts, there was a man, was, I don't know, whatever. He's still alive, but yeah. In Massachusetts, there's a man named um, Carl Drew. He was a satanic cult member and sacrificed 3 women, which means he murdered them.
Oh shit.
So on October 13th, 1979, the body of 17-year-old Doreen Levesque was found behind Diamond Vocational High School in Fall River. I don't know if it's Diamond or Demon. Demon. Oh my god. Diamond or Demon. Whatever. But yeah, in Fall River. When her body was discovered, her wrists were tied with fishing wire and she had been stabbed multiple times in the head. And there was also evidence that she had been sexually tortured.
No.
The coroner determined that there were multiple people involved in the murder and that there were ritual elements to her wounds, and it appears that she might have also been stoned to death. And I did want to mention that Doreen was a teenage runaway. Like, she had been reported previously by her foster parents that she has run away. And she was also a sex worker. Which is kind of important to the story a little bit. So in November, 1 month after the discovery of Doreen's body, 22-year-old Barbara Raposa was reported missing in Fall River by her boyfriend Andy Maltese. He told police that he believed a devil-worshipping cult that took orders from Satan himself was behind Barbara's disappearance. It was revealed that Andy was a convicted pedophile, sexual sadist, and rapist.
Disgusting.
And also a Satan worshiper, but apparently he converted to Christianity after everything that he went through.
Of course.
Yeah. He also stated that he and Barbara were both members of a local satanic cult and mentioned that Doreen was also part of the same cult. The police and Andy, plus 2 other members of the cult, Karen Marsden, who was 20, and Robin Murphy, who was 17, all met up to talk. So everyone was pretty young, besides Carl. I think Carl was a little bit older, like he was in his 20s. So Karen and Robin stated that they were lovers and that they were living together. And they told police that Andy had been molesting Robin since she was 11. So after hours of questioning, Karen broke down and said, Carl Drew killed Doreen Levesque. Karen
Oh,
and Robin
damn.
stated that Carl claimed to be Satan himself and that his prostitution ring was a devil-worshipping cult. He often took sex workers into the Freetown State Forest and held like some types of rituals and sacrifices. It was like pretty regular that he would do that. Like he would take those people into the forest and like do those types of things. And Karen
Wait, where
claimed
was this at? Like what?
this is in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
spooky already.
Yeah. And then Karen claimed that Carl Drew had threatened to inject battery acid into her veins and offer her soul to Satan if she ever betrayed him.
Oh my god.
She told police that if she were ever found dead, that it probably would have been Carl who killed her. So Carl is 26, or not is, was at the time. He was 26. He was known as a violent pimp in the Fall River and Bedford area of Massachusetts. He was also Doreen's pimp. So everyone, I don't know if it was everyone, but a lot of people in this cult, they were sex workers and he was the pimp. And they were also all like Satan worshippers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he was Doreen's pimp. He ran away from his dad's farm when he was 14 after being forced to deal with like rotting butchered animals and shit. Because his farm was like a slaughterhouse kind of thing. And then oh my god, I can't talk. On January 26, 1980, Barbara's body was found frozen and in the woods behind an abandoned factory. She was raped and her skull was crushed with a stone and her hands tied behind her back. After her body's discovery, Andy, which was her boyfriend, contacted the police and said that he had some sort of psychic vision of where her body was located, and as well as the time and manner of her death. And then after he
That's
told
very
the police,
suspicious.
yeah. So with that,
Like, I was actually there. It wasn't psychic.
yeah. So he actually ended up getting arrested and then was charged for her murder. After he was arrested, Robin Murphy came forward and claimed that she was present at the ritual murder of Doreen Levesque and was willing to testify against Andy in exchange for immunity in both murder cases. She testified that Andy raped and killed Barbara out of jealousy and left her to crawl away into the woods before driving off with Robin.
That's so sad.
On April 13th, 1980, the remains of a human skull had been found near Devil Pond, and it was
No, that
determined to be what?
I was just gonna say, oh, that's a great name for this area.
I know, right? And it was determined to be Karen Marsden. The rest of her body was never found. So I thought it was pretty like sad how she was like she kind of expected that she might have died because she was like or that she was going to end up dying because she told the police like, "Hey, if I'm ever found dead, it was Carl who killed me." You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, the rest of her body was never found, just that skull. Carol Fletcher, who was another local sex worker that was in Andy's satanic cult, reported that he and Robin were both responsible for Karen's death. Robin then broke down and confessed. Before I tell you that part, Karen and Robin were lovers. Like they were living together and they were like in a relationship. So
What?
Robin fucking murdered her girlfriend.
Damn.
Um,
All for this guy?
I I think for the
I mean, I guess we
devil.
don't know, but for the devil, yeah.
I think it's for the devil, man. But Robin stated that every 30 days or so, the cult would sacrifice someone on a full moon. She said that they all spoke in tongues, conjured up demons, and offered human sacrifices to Satan. They would use torture to force the victim to a maximum state of emotional arousal, which they believed resulted in a super potent sacrifice. Robin admitted being a part of murdering Karen Marsden. She said that Karen's hair and fingernails were ripped out. She was beaten with stones before Carl snapped her neck with his hands. Carl
Jesus
told
Christ.
Robin Carl told Robin to slit her throat to ensure that she was dead, and then after they chopped her head off before kicking it around like a football.
Oh my god, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, like they straight up decapitated her head and fucking played with it. Like that's so messed up. Her fingers were removed to steal the rings that she was wearing, and an X was carved into her chest. This part is a little gross, but Carl raped her headless corpse before they left it.
Oh my god. How have I never heard about this? This is like so fucking horrible. This should be like up there with all the other cults.
I know, right? I've never heard of this either. And I only saw that I looked it up and I saw that like one um TV show like made an episode on it. It's called I think it was called True Crimes or oh no, it's called Occult Crimes. It's season 2, episode 2, but you can't fucking find it anywhere. Like you can't watch it anywhere. They have it on Tubi for free, but they only have season 1. So like you can't I literally tried looking for this episode everywhere just so I can see if I can get any more information, but
Damn.
like you can't watch it anywhere. But yeah, so Robin Murphy pleaded guilty to her part in Karen Marsden's murder and was convicted of second-degree murder and accepted a life sentence with the possibility of parole in exchange for testifying against Carl Drew. Um, which she actually ended up getting out, I think.
Oh
I don't
no.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember when. So she was on parole, and I think she violated her parole and went back to prison. And then she tried to um, get parole again or whatever, and they denied it. So I think in 2022 she might be eligible for parole again. But yeah, so that happened, and then in March of 1981, Carl was tried for the murders of Doreen Levesque and Karen Marsden, and both Andy Maltius and Carl Drew were convicted of murder and sentenced life without parole. Andy died in prison, and Carl, who maintains his innocence, is still he's still locked up. But I've also read that Doreen, like that he wasn't charged for Doreen's murder because they said that there wasn't enough evidence. But there was like two different stories about that. It's like they didn't have enough evidence, so Doreen wasn't, because there wasn't enough evidence. But then I also read that he was convicted for both of her murders. So I don't know, but people don't want Robin to get out because, like, even though she also like recanted her story. That's what it's called, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course,
recanted
yeah.
her story. Yeah, and she was like, "No, wait, like I actually wasn't there during the murders and whatever." But nobody fucking believes it, and nobody even thinks that she should have eligibility for parole because that's a serious fucking thing. Like, you murdered someone,
Yeah.
especially to be a Satanist. Like, well, not a Satanist, but like a Satan worshiper, where like you do sacrifices and stuff like that. Like, that is pretty terrifying and dangerous, for I don't know, to be out, like, released to the
Like, out in
public.
the
And
world. Yeah.
mhm, yeah. So yeah, those were the Fall River murders cult people. Yeah.
Fall River Murders cult people. That is pretty scary.
So it actually turns out, which I'm probably gonna do an episode on this as well, that one of the that forest that I mentioned that they took. Oh no, the forest that they would do the rituals in and where they would sacrifice people in, the Freetown State Forest, that's actually haunted. So I may want to
Ooh.
do an episode on that, like following up this story because it has to do with it.
Yes, do it.
But yeah, so if you live in Massachusetts near Fall River, go check out this haunted forest, but like be careful because who knows if there's still fucking Satan worship or satanic or fuck. People that do sacrifices and shit. So just be safe,
Yeah, don't
you
get
know.
sacrificed.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So before we go, I wanted to share a little spooky encounter one of my friends had recently. He lives in Utah, and him and his friends were playing basketball one night, and they forgot like their keys or something inside the basketball place. The basketball they like where they would play was actually a was it a church? I think it was a church, like a Mormon church or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what you
And
told me, which doesn't surprise me because they all have, like, huge fields and basketball courts
oh,
and kickball fields and stuff.
okay, then yeah, it's definitely that. And he said like when him and his friend were going back inside, like everything was turned off, like all the lights and everything. So they got their flashlights from like their phone or something, and there was two chairs, and in one chair it looked like there was like a shadow figure sitting inside in like sitting on the chair. And so once he saw that shadow figure, he heard like a loud bang, and then they both got scared and like ran out. And that's the story. That's it. That's all. Very
That's the story,
short.
that's all.
Very short. He saw a ghost, heard a bang, and ran away. But
That's so scary though. Like this is
yeah.
so weird to me because I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't believe in God, but whenever I go to like a church parking lot or like a Mormon church specifically parking lot, I always feel like bad vibes. Like I always get like nervous. And I remember when I was younger, we would go to church and I would like be walking through the halls and I would just feel scared like I need to run, even though there was
Oh
like
my
nobody else
god.
in the church. And
Yeah.
I've had a few friends that say they get those feelings too, and, like, there is a lot of weird shit that happens within the very secretive side of the Mormon church, so I don't know. Bad vibes, man. I don't
Ooh.
like it. I don't trust it.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And we hope that this month is great for you. You are thriving and living your best spooky life, and you're staying safe. Don't go to fucking parties. Oh, well, I mean, Kale's about to have one, but
Stay within your small circle. Come on, we want this
yeah,
pandemic to end.
yeah, exactly. So just be safe, and if you guys are gonna have any like cool spooky festivities, share them with us. Let us know what you're doing. Also, if you have any spooky stories, if you go out to any spooky places, this is the best month to do it. If you have any haunting experiences, email them to us so we can share them on our morbid minis.
Yes, please share them with us. I know we say this every episode. You guys are probably sick of it, but we love getting your listener stories. Even if you have something that's a funny story that like didn't end up being like a ghost or something, tell us. Like we love stuff like that. We love getting scared.
Yeah,
So
and then laughing
send us.
about it.
Yeah, I mean that I have a story from my uncle that I want to share with you guys, and it's like that, but it's like terrifying. So I'll share that with you guys. But yeah, it's just send us whatever you want. taleoftwodedgirls@gmail.com and we will
Yes.
look at it.
All right, cool. Well, go check out our Instagram for pictures and stuff of the story, or the stories that we shared today. Oh my god, I can't talk.
Time to end it.
Yeah. All right, you guys.
We'll meet you 6 feet under.